All right, I suppose this is a very long-winded warm welcome to my said YouTube channel. This is the first one in this little space here. What we're going to be doing is be learning how to cook. What I want you to understand is what we're questioning is the why. Why do we do something? Why are we doing something? Why are we doing that? Why are we doing this? Why are we making a Scotch egg today? And I tell you what, because there is a load of wonderful lessons in it. All of the lessons that are there and the journeys that you can take things on. So the mince could change, the crumbs could change, the eggs could change. Let's just explore said recipe and see where it goes. The most important thing is the egg. Let me get a pan. Let me get a pan. It's an egg. So how do you want your egg? Do you want your egg hard? Hang on. Still trying to figure out how to use everything. Do you want your egg hard? Do you want it soft? Do you want it runny? Do you want it non-existent if you're vegan? Hey, it's completely up to you. This may seem like a simple one, but when boiling an egg, make sure that you've got enough water for it to sit down. Don't let the water come up to here. So there's a little bit of egg poking out, because what's going to happen is the yolk is going to float and you're going to get an off-center egg yolkage. That's not what you want. Hang on. Okay, mate. Here we go. Here we go. I got a whiteboard for a reason. So this is a lesson in eggs. It makes me very happy talking about this. So this is an egg. It's a pretty shit egg. If you cook an egg for 3.5 minutes in boiling water, then what will happen is it will be very undercooked. It won't be very cooked at all. But the wonderful lesson is residual. Doesn't matter, I'm saying it, cooking. So residual cooking, what happens is that means that heat continues to cook. So say for example, the heat penetrated to about here and it's not cooked in the middle. What's going to happen over time, over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, heat is going to continually penetrate. There's like a sperm into the middle here, and therefore it's going to cook gradually. It's a massive lesson in cooking, residual cooking temperature. And I talk about it all the time because it is so important. So if you cook an egg for 3.5 minutes, bosh, leave it out, you'll have the perfect dippy egg. This is dippy egg zone, dippy egg. What we want is a soft boiled egg. So if you cook your egg for 6.5 minutes, then it's going to penetrate to this stage here. But you're like, oh, Mark, residual cooking temperature. Yes, residual cooking temperature. It will cook to here. How do you stop that? You plunge said egg into ice cold water, yeah? That will stop the cooking of said egg. So when it gets to here, stop. Yeah, no more cooking. Technique is technical blanch and refresh. So if you're going to blanch some vegetables, for example, blanch, refresh, ice cold water, stop the cooking, yummy. Right, you get out of the way, mate. 6.5 minutes. Someone said that on YouTube, you're allowed to talk more. I have stitched myself up. These are going to be like 45-minute long videos. Into boiling water, not into any other kind of water, into boiling water. These have actually come out of the fridge because they just got delivered via a refrigerated van. But I'd say never put your eggs in the fridge. They came out of a chicken's anus. They didn't go straight into a fridge. Let me set a timer. Right, clock. What am I doing? Started going on WhatsApp. It's been about 7 minutes already. 6:30. Bosh. So at this point, sort your water out because you're not going to have time. Right, you don't have any ice cubes. I've actually just got a couple of these that were left over from some cheese delivery. Chilled packaging, great. Right, so while that's doing its thing, God, you're aggressive. Turn your attention to the mince. This is another one. In cooking, you've got to think about what flavours you want to go with. So, a Scotch egg, traditionally done with fish. Don't know if that's right. Wikipedia, let's ask it. Whenever you're doing any form of cooking, is take a step back and just go, fucking hell. Pork mince is the protein section that's going to wrap around. Do you want to do fish? Fantastic. You could do a smoked mackerel. You could do salmon. You could do like a white fish, anything like that. You could do beef. Why not? You could do chorizo. You could do black pudding. You could do chicken mince. You could do turkey. You get the idea. You could go veggie if you want to. You can't quite go vegan because it's pretty pointless. But you could do a chickpea wrapped thing. The other thing you don't want it to be is too dry. If it's too dry, it's not going to be delicious and tasty. Tasty. We need to make this tasty. Blend cultures, that's what I say. There is no reason, I've got this, Caribbean curry powder. There's no reason you couldn't put a little bit of this. It doesn't have to be loads, but it can just be, well, that's going to be a big lump, isn't it? All right, Tony. Just a little bit. Little sprinkle madinkle. Liquid smoke. I think that stuff's amazing. Just a little bit. How do you get this open? You know, you could fry some onions off, pop some onions in. Go on, mate, get off. That smells delicious. Smoke on smoke. I know what you're thinking. This guy is a smoky boy. Right, you go over there, mate. What else should we put in there? Something green? I think I've got some greeneries in here. I bought some basil and it got stuck to the back of the fridge. Look how ropey that is. Look, a lot of people would just be like, oh, get rid of it. Just get rid of the little rubber band. It's not bummy, it's just gone a bit weird. If it's a little bit bummy, who cares? Smoky basil. I don't even know where I'm going with this yet. Salt, why not? Pepper? Did I buy a pepper mill? I got a pepper mill. I have a feeling this doesn't come out though. Yeah, it's just a show one. Oh, pestle and more's full up. Looks like something for a festival. One of those food festivals, you know? How long have we got? Oh, 1.5 minutes. So think about all of the flavours in this. Mince is definitely where all of the flavour has to be. So where do you want that to go? Do you want to think about a balance in it? Do you want it to be like really salty? Because what are you going to serve it with? You're going to serve it with something that could, you know, take over from that salt. So maybe if you've done like a, I don't know, like a mackerel dish and you've cured it and smoked it and whatnot, then you might want to serve it with something creamy to counteract that. This is going to be a pretty sort of like non-offensive, just a nicely well-seasoned, highly peppered Scotch egg. Get your hands involved. Fry off a little bit, have a little taste. If you can't be arsed, don't worry about it. Dun, 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 dun. That's that. Eggs are done. Timer's going to go off. Cross-contamination central over here. But don't worry, I'm going to wash it all. What an alarm. This is going to go over here. I'm going to wash my hands, all right? All of my tatars. Right, eggs are cooling in there. Mince is ready. We're almost ready to go. So, see you in a bit. With cooking, the most important thing, everyone always says, oh, how do you get good at cooking? It's not about how fast you can chop. It's not about how fast you can flip and hold a pan, how hot a tray you can pull out of the oven. The thing that is important about cooking is your mouth. Understanding flavours, balancing flavours, building that palate. If you were in an 8-hour restaurant, what's the restaurant? Don's Le Noir. Put this one on. It's just a cutaway just in case I talk too much. Don's Le Noir, the restaurant where you eat in the dark. You're obviously not looking at the food, so it doesn't matter if it looks like absolute Scheiße. If it tastes amazing, that's the #1 thing. So train your mouth, eat things, taste things, be inquisitive, learn. That's what it's all about. It's exciting. I've been a chef since I was like 15, like trying lots of different foods. So explore flavours. So exciting. I'm just going to capture some terrible B-roll on this said iPhone. Oh, that basil. Oh, I'm glad I tasted it. Needs way more salt. Wow. Ah, needs more salt. Way more paprika. The little Caribbean powder is beautiful. It's got that like, little hum of spice, but it's not too spicy. That's definitely going to be well tasty, etc. I'm going to go get my hands a quick wash. Now, when you're doing the old blanch and refresh technique, what you want to ensure is that the water actually stays cold. What a lot of people do is put it into water and then they're like, oh, that's great, lovely. And then by the time they come back, that's warm. So that's why you need to put ice in it. Or you could run the tap, but it's not very good for the environment. Do we need to talk through this? Basically, all you need to do is just get underneath that little membrane. This is a lesson in how not to peel an egg. Never understand why some eggs are brilliant for peeling and some eggs are terrible. It's like with a poached egg. People go, oh, fresh egg. Yeah, it could be a fresh egg. But I've had some fresh eggs straight out of a chicken's annals and they're terrible. Wow, this is really good. There we go. Right, there's your 3 eggs. It was just a bit of water, don't panic. It's just a bit of cardboard. Okay. You can do these as thick or as thin as you want. It really doesn't matter. But what you need to think is you need to have enough of this to wrap around said egg. So plop your egg in. Okay. Now all you do, fold it over. Now don't worry if it breaks a little bit, okay? At this stage you're all right. You can use the cling film to kind of help you. But what I tend to do is get it into one hand. So it's almost like a meaty egg taco. And then just pinch your way round. Pinch. You're always going to have a bit at the top. So what we can do is just basically use gravity. So once it's all pinched, I tend to go like this. And it kind of like, there's like a self-shaping egg. So just, oh, fucking hell, tell. So the only thing we're left to do is to pane it. But I'm going to do the rest of these and we'll come back. All right, bye. Into the pane bit. Now this is another lesson in not creating loads of waste. So pane section, flour, and then you're going to have breadcrumbs. Now, what you see in restaurants is fine because they do it in big amounts. But what people used to do is just like fill up one of these, like a trough, that egg and then breadcrumbs. Then what will happen is you get to the end of it, you will have loads of flour left over, probably no egg, and then loads of like lumpy bread because all the eggs kind of got it stuck together. Now to sort of create minimal waste, it's just don't put loads in. You know, just put in what you think you're going to use and then you can always add a bit more. I've seen people, these things aren't cheap. This is like £3 panko breadcrumbs. I've seen people dump out like £20 bags and then be like, yeah, oh, that's a shame. It's all clumped together. Well done, you absolute fucking whore. Do you season it every step of the way? Do you season the flour? Do you season the breadcrumbs? Hey, look, it's completely up to you. If you want to, by all means, go for it. Oh, one-handed. But I don't feel the need because the mince is going to be well tasty. So, oh, that was a well nice egg. If you ever want to know how to do like a one-handed egg crack, get your thumb, stick your thumb into the hole, and then you're going to kind of like leverage. Like that. That's it. I don't know why you really ever need to do it because you've got 2 hands. Also think, yes, it's breadcrumbs. You could go with like the golden breadcrumbs you get from the supermarket. You can make your own breadcrumbs. You don't even have to use breadcrumbs. You could be well trendy and use cornflakes, dried rice flakes, quinoa flakes. So many things you could do. Quinoa, puffed quinoa. This is the thing. There's always a recipe for something, but there's always a way of adapting it in some way, shape or form. Flour, egg, breadcrumb. They always say keep one hand clean because then you can answer the phone. So, flour. I'm doing this in completely the wrong position for the camera. Here we go. Everyone see that? That's nice, isn't it? I can even see that on that camera. Into your egg, roll it around. You know, we do like a double pane as well, which is where you just go double dip. Some people like that, pull it out and put it back in again, but you never know. With these trays, you can actually go like this and kind of roll it and it will do it for you. So you can see that's not really had that much of a coating. So I'm gonna go back in. It's always good to have a double pane if you need to protect something. I once did a job where I had to pane poached quail's eggs. Yeah, absolutely, thanks for that job. They were like, hey, the new guy, you do this. And I was like, right, cool, yeah, what do I have to do? They were like, poached quail's egg. I was like, fantastic. How many? 3,000, yeah, cheers for that. And then you have to pane them. So anything that's a bit delicate, always try and double pane. But it's just nice because then you get a bit of crumb. So there you go. There is your pane Scotch egg. I'm just going to put these to one side, do the rest. See you in 5 minutes, bye. Okay, so if you've made it this far, absolutely 100% congratulations and thank you so much. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Martin. I am Lagom chef. I like to teach people about how to cook creatively, think outside the norm and make beautiful, wonderful dishes. Now, this is my studio, which I've taken on. I want this place to feel like a bit of a test kitchen so we can try ideas out. If we have an idea on the fly, then we can make it happen. I'm just trying to grab things out of shot. Over here, I actually have, is that even in shot? A deep fat fryer. Deep fat fryer, deep fat fryer. Now I know loads of you won't have one of these at home, but I've bought one because I wanted to have one. Second hand, got it off my mate. I haven't got a plug, fantastic. Where the fuck's a plug? How do I plug that in? That's really dangerous. So what I wanted to be able to do is like test all of the theories of questions that people would say. So I know one of the questions which will come up, which we're gonna do it, is can you do a Scotch egg in an air fryer? I don't know. I reckon you can, but I don't think it'll be as delicious as a deep fat fryer. I'm gonna turn this big boy bad boy on. Do have an air fryer, so much. Oh God, I've got another extension lead. So deep fat frying obviously makes things absolutely delicious, but it also helps you give that crust. Now, air fryers, the question that everyone goes, can you do an air fryer? Of course you can. All you need to think of an air fryer is an oven that sits on the counter. It's not a fryer, it's an air oven. I think they branded it really well because everyone was like, oh yeah, guys, I can fry things without any oil. It's gonna make everything healthy. They could, if Ninja are listening, the thing that you could level this up with is to have a probe that would go in so you could record temperatures of things while it's in there so you just like know when things are done. Is that on? Now, if you have some of that like spray oil, I reckon that'll help give it a nice crust, but I don't know how long it's going to need in here. Pop you in. Air fry, might as well. 200 degrees? No. 15 minutes. 180. See what happens while this is heating up. We'll be back. If you're frying at home and you have a pan, please be very, very careful. If you ever get to have a look at a fryer, it actually only goes to 190, so you never need to really fry anything over that. So I'm probably gonna go like 160, 170, so it doesn't burn, so it still cooks. Right, pop it up, pop it in. Here we go, lovely. Right, let those cook. Probably about 5-10 minutes. They'll get a nice golden colour, then we can pop them in the oven. This has been going on for 6 minutes now and not a lot has happened. Right, while these are cooking, get away. Where's my pens? No, that's a permanent pen. Hey, classic bad service over there. If you think we're cooking a Scotch egg now, from this point onwards, that's the crust all around here. Then you've got your meat, which is probably going to be like this much. And then your egg is going to be sitting in here. This is going to be cool, if not cold, because you've refreshed it. Now, the heat is going to have to penetrate through the crust and through all of the meat before it gets there. It's probably going to take around 8 to 10 minutes, 170 in the fryer. But I'm going to finish these off in the oven. It's going to be very hard for that to penetrate all the way into the yolk and make that there. So all it is a case now, health and safety, cooking things to the correct temperature, and then we're good to go. Okay, look, because the fryer oil wasn't high enough, I'm just giving them a little baste, give them a little roll. The air fryer one seems to have split. There we are. That's not too bad. Looks all right. Looks hot though. They've got a beautiful colour on them now, so I don't want any more colour. I just want to ensure that they're cooked all the way through to the middle. Now, an air fryer is a fantastic thing if you can't be bothered to turn your oven on, and I haven't turned it on. So I'm just going to pop these in here, stick them in the other side. Why does this confuse me so much? Let's go 170 for about 10 minutes. We'll be back. They'll both be done pretty much the same time. Okay, bye. The air fryer one, as you can see, it's kind of like, it's done pretty good, but it's kind of busted because I think what needs to happen is when you fry, you get that instant crust Still looks lovely, juicy. But these ones, like proper, beautiful golden big boy bad boys. Look at them. Whoa. Nice crisp. Hang on, should we do it? Should we do the crisp? I don't know what I need to do. What should we do? Should we just eat them? So serrated knife straight down the middle. Whoa. There she is. The yolky, still running. As I said, hot all the way through. Cooked, yes. How can you tell? Because it's gone pretty solid. Get yourself one of these, little Pen. Now obviously you can't stick it all the way through into the egg, but we're not cooking the egg all the way through. You can stick it into your meat just here. If it's anything over 75 degrees, you're fine. And it's 82 degrees. It's perfectly cooked. Hygiene's out the window. What I've got here is some chili jam. But you could also do that like really playful thing. Like if you've done, I don't know, mackerel, then this could be a tartar sauce. You know, if you're going, you could take it down a Thai route. You could do a Thai green curry Scotch egg. Maybe with like a marinated ramen egg in the middle. There's so many options. You see that? Is that focusing? Lovely. Oh, it's so good. Smoky, sweet. I would pay good money for that in a pub. You can hit it with other things. Maybe you want like a piccalilli. Some pickles. I've got some pickles. These are some pickled red onions. How do you make pickled red onions that are absolutely perfect? You put a little bit of beetroot in there to give them that like red punch. And then you have a little bit of pickle, which will kind of like cut through it. I don't really know how you're meant to end these things. I'm just going to be doing loads of cooking in here. If you want to come in, give me a message because I'm happy to collaborate with other people, do some other cooking content. Got some friends coming in, we're going to cook. But do the old like, subscribe, all that kind of jazz, I suppose. It really helped me out. Cheers. Love you all. Bye.